Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Raymore City Council regular meeting for Monday, October the 13th, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order and ask for the roll call, please.
Councilmember Abdelgawad.
Here.
Councilmember Baker.
Present.
Councilmember Barber.
Present.
Councilmember Burke.
Present.
Councilmember Circo.
Present.
Councilmember Ingert. Present. Councilmember Holman.
Present.
Councilmember Mills.
Present.
Mayor Turnbow.
Present. We have a quorum. Would you please rise and join me in a pledge? Thank you. And before we proceed further this evening, I'd like to have a moment of silence. I'm going to start off with a recitation that was on our city webpage that our communications director put together. But the moment of silence will be for Margie Sullivan, a wonderful individual who we all came to know and love, who worked here nearly 10 years. And over in the Public Works Engineering Division. But as you know, we lost her on October 2nd to the aggressive cancer that she'd been battling for a while. And here's what was posted on the website in case you didn't get a chance to see it or read it. It says, with great sadness, we announce the passing of our beloved co-worker, Margie Sullivan. Margie had served as an administrative assistant in the Raymore Public Works Engineering Division since 2015. In City Manager Jim Fearborn's words, Margie was a public servant warrior and a quiet hero. She was passionate about helping our citizens 24/7 and being there for all of us, all the time. No one ever came to her and didn't get treated to her smile, complete attention, immediate friendship, and incredible customer service. This was all the more amazing for all of us who knew what she was having to endure as she continued to insist on serving. Margie's generosity and creative talents were shared with so many people over the years, whether it was gifting a beautifully handmade baby blanket to a co-worker's newborn child, or donating knitted and crocheted hats, scarves, and other handmade items to local charities. An avid supporter of animal welfare, Margie fostered and adopted dogs and cats over the years, giving them a safe and loving home. And when a pet's time on this earth was done, she always managed, through the heartbreak, to find room in her heart to do it all over again. During the Australian bushfires of 2019-2020, Margie knitted nests and sent them halfway across the world to animal rehabilitation facilities to help wildlife that had been displaced and injured in the fires. As we mourn the loss of our dear friend, may her giving spirit and dedication to helping others, both humans and animals, always remain a lasting inspiration. In remembering her, we will strive to carry forward her legacy of generosity and love so that her impact continues to ripple through our lives and our community. Rest in peace, sweet Margie. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. And now we'll continue the agenda for this evening. We have no presentations and awards this evening or personal appearances, so we'll move on to staff reports. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Gress to make a staff report.
Thank you, sir. Mayor and Council, in your packet this evening was a department report for the month of September. Just a couple things I wanted to bring to your attention. We did finish September with 25 new single-family home permits that were issued across the Madison Valley subdivision, a couple different phases of Creekmore, Knoll Creek, and actually a permit out in the Skyview East area of the city. So a good spread out activity in terms of new homes being constructed. If you've driven over by Pine Street Center anytime recently to the restaurant or anything over there, you've seen that the property owner started some building improvements on the property there with resurfacing the parking lot. So they're finishing that up this week, I believe, and then should be getting some roofing replacements permitted this month. So it's good to see some reinvestment into that center from the property owner and kind of fixing things up over there. Last month, myself and city planner Dave McCumber also attended the Bi-State APA conference in St. Louis. This year, they hosted over on the St. Louis side. As the council knows, every year you all provide funding for two of us from our department, and in most cases, a planning and zoning commissioner to attend those conferences every year. So just wanted to extend our appreciation for the ability to go network and talk with some of our counterparts across the state. Hopefully bring some things back here to Raymore. So that will conclude my staff report, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, David. Anybody have any questions? Mr. Gress? Hearing none, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Mr. Gress. I would ask Chief Wilson to make a report this evening.
A few weeks ago, I passed on that we at the PD and the city have received the Blue Shield designation from the governor's office. As a result of receiving that designation, the Missouri Department of Public Safety put out grant information for training and equipment. The PD applied for the Command College for Commander. It's a 6 weeks course over a 6-month period. Cellbrite Insights and Training for 3 officers. It's a digital forensic extraction tool. 3 sets of body armor. 32 Stop the Bleed replacement first aid kits for officers to carry on their vest. 1 training for me to attend the International Association of Police Chiefs Annual Conference. And I'm pleased to announce that we've been awarded the grant. The grant was right at $50,000.
Oh, excellent.
The bulk of that grant is really the Cellbrite and the training for the 3 officers. That was right at $30,000. So.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Any questions of the chief? Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Fearborn?
Thank you, Chief. Reminder to the council, we do have a work session next Monday night, October 20th. The annual and very exciting snow plan will be in front of you for your review and approval, as well as if there were anything to come up last minute on the budget. We'll also have that on the agenda. That concludes staff reports tonight, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Any questions of Mr. Fearborn this evening from anybody? All right. Moving right along, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. I'd entertain a motion to accept or any of it or all of it.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve the consent agenda, including item A, City Council meeting minutes from September 22nd, 2025. Item B, Raymore Commerce Dean Avenue and 195th Street, acceptance of public improvements. And item C, 1405 Lake Point Cove easement vacation.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda, all 3 items. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. We have no unfinished business, as we had no new business last meeting, but we do have new business this meeting. So the first item on the agenda, could I please have the first reading of Bill 3989 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3989 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the fiscal year 2026 budget.
Thank you, ma'am. This item requires a public hearing on its first reading, so I'll open the public hearing at this time, and I'll turn it over to staff for staff report. Mr. Fearborn?
Thank you, sir. The fiscal year 2026 budget is before you for your consideration and the required public hearing. The budget was first presented to the City Council on August 18th. There have been subsequent work sessions to discuss the budget on September 15th and 29th and on October 6th. Bill 3989 before you tonight includes the following fund expenditure summaries. Total expenditures from the general fund in the amount and transfers out of the fund to other funds in the amount of $14,956,894. Total public safety sales tax fund expenditures in the amount of $816,185. Total park fund expenditures in the amount of $2,099,159. Total general obligation debt of $3,811,100. Total vehicle replacement fund expenditures in the amount of $307,250. $200. Total restricted revenue fund expenditures in the amount of $315,686. Total enterprise fund expenditures and transfers out to other funds in the amount of $12,823,349. Total capital fund expenditures across a number of those capital funds in the total amount of $10,084,370. During the 3 work sessions to discuss the budget, the City Council and City staff requested and discussed several amendments to the budget that has just been presented to you all in Bill 3989 for the use of available fund balance. Those amendments have been placed in front of each of the council members tonight, as we do each year, with the places of the mayor, the normal motion maker, the normal seconder of the motion. That list is in the form of the motion that would be before you tonight to adopt those amendments in full. If the list remains intact, as you see it before you tonight, with no changes, the projected available fund balance in each of the operating funds at the end of the amendments and the expenditures being projected, the general fund would have a remaining available fund balance of $703,503. The Public Safety Sales Tax Fund would have available fund balance remaining of $153,627. That remains unchanged. The Park Fund available fund balance would have a remainder of $82,614. That also remains unchanged. And the Enterprise Fund would have remaining available fund balance in the amount of $2,270,338. That is slightly changed from adding, taking the kiosk out of there and taking some of the trenching and manhole safety equipment out of that particular fund. That concludes the staff report on this item, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Are there any questions of Mr. Fearborn as he presented this evening? There are no questions of staff. The public hearing is open at this time. If anyone from the public would care to address the council on the budget, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. I see no one coming forward, so I'll close the public hearing at this time. And I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad,
I move that we approve Bill 3989, adopting the fiscal year 2026 budget as presented, subject to the following amendments. 1, allocating $1,400,000 from the general fund available balance to be transferred to the transportation fund for street preservation and curb and sidewalk repair. Number 2, allocating $40,000 from the general fund available balance for enhanced entertainment at the amphitheater in consideration of the 250th anniversary and World Cup celebration summer. Number 3, allocating $3,500 from the general fund available balance for holiday lighting at the rack. Number 4, allocating $4,700 from the general fund available balance for the purchase of 2 pitching mounds and 1 pitching machine for the recreation department. Number 5, allocating $8,000 from the general fund available balance for the purchase of 2 sets of rolling bleachers for the rack. Number 6, allocating $18,000 from the general fund available balance for the replacement of the drone for the police department. Number 7, allocating $8,500 from the general fund available balance and $8,500 from the enterprise fund available balance for the purchase of trench and manhole worker safety equipment. And number 8, allocating $15,000 from the enterprise fund available balance for the purchase of a payment kiosk for the finance department.
thank you. I have a motion to approve the first reading of Bill 3989. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. The motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3989, adopting the fiscal year 2026 budget as amended. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call? This is a pretty important document, so let's get the roll call out there.
Councilmember Abdel-Gawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Thank you all. The motion carries unanimously. I appreciate that very much. We'll now move on. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3990 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3990 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending the fiscal year 2025 operating budget.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Ms. Williams to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. During fiscal year 2025, the following operating transactions occurred that require budget amendments. Finance staff has accumulated these items to be addressed as a single budget amendment in Bill 3990. The Public Works Street Division purchased additional salt due to a harsh winter season for $22,000 in the general fund, Street Department. The Finance Department saw an increase in credit card fees due to an increase in usage as well as an increase in fees charged by the processor. That amount is $74,000 in the general fund. The Communications Department requested to transfer Arts Commission funds to the Restricted Revenue Fund for a future lease payment for public art. That amount is $3,000 from the general fund transferred to our Restricted Fund 4. The enterprise fund should reimburse the general fund for the increase in credit card fees associated with utility billing, $60,000 from the enterprise fund to the general fund. There were emergency repairs to a water line at Lucy Webb and Falcon, $16,460 from the water connection fee fund. There were emergency repairs to a sewer line at North Prairie Lane for $53,225 from the sewer connection fee fund. There was recently an emergency replacement of the air conditioning unit at the Owen Good lift station for $39,140. This is being paid from the sewer connection fee fund and split with the enterprise capital maintenance fund equally. The fiscal year 2025 CIP project, Broadmoor and Grandshire drainage improvements, required additional funding. That's $50,000 from the stormwater fund. The Parks and Recreation Department also had additional credit card fees due to increased fees and usage, $15,000 to the park fund. The Parks and Recreation Department had additional expense related to a new leased vehicle for $7,500 in the park fund. The Parks and Recreation Department had additional expense related to a repair to the heating and cooling system at Centerview. That was $5,000 from the park fund. And lastly, the Human Resources Department created a position in range P of the salary chart for the senior engineering technician and removed the prior assistant city engineer position in range S of the salary chart. So it's necessary to amend our salary chart. That concludes staff report.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Williams on any of these amendments to the budget? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions of staff on this particular item? Okay. If not, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Abdel-Gawad.
I move that we approve Bill 3990, budget amendment for fiscal year 2025 operating adjustments.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3990. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. And now brings us to the public comment section of our agenda. If anyone from the public care to address the council at this time, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Seeing no one coming forward, so we'll move on to mayor council communication. And Mr. Holman, I'll start with you this evening, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would start off by saying congratulations to most everyone in the room. What we approved in a matter of a few minutes represents the work of our incredible staff in excess of 6 months. Is that correct, Mr. Fearborn? I know it starts early in the late winter, early spring.
It is.
Every
It begins
year.
on February 1. So.
And it is a arduous process, to say the least. Another well-done execution of our finances, and that's reflected in appropriate services for the citizens of Raymore. So please pass on my appreciation to all of the staff, because it goes beyond you, it goes beyond finance and beyond the department heads. There's input from most every level of the city on this before it ever gets to us in form of paper and discussion from you. Second thing, Chief, excellent news on the grant. Fantastic. I've been impressed with city staff for some time, not just the police department, but all the departments, in finding funding that we can capture that goes beyond our tax base. And that's really good news. And I think all of those expenditures are excellent ones for public safety for our city. They're going to pay us back dividends. And I hope that you have the most success that you can have with the change into the fiscal year and the collection of the public safety sales tax in hiring those officers and getting that equipment. Again, it was great news to hear. Now the heavy lifting begins of interviewing and hiring and maybe sending people through the academy and getting all their equipment. So very well done, sir. My final item this evening, Your Honor, would be I would like to express my condolences to Margie's family and to staff. It impacts me and other people up here as well. I've known her for a long time. I would find Mr. Fearborn's description of her and her persona to be spot on. I never saw the woman when she wasn't smiling. She was a pleasant human being to be around and to interact with, certainly. We all have bad days. I never saw one of hers. She never let it show. It impacts us, but it certainly impacts staff more heavily, because when you spend that much time with an individual and you know some more of the items that are going on within their life, it makes you take a second look at life and humanity. It's unfortunate, it's part of life, but it's a hard one to accept for a while. May she rest in peace. Please pass on my condolences, sir. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mitchell. Well said. I appreciate that. Mr. Burke.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank the staff on all the work they've done on this budget. You've got about 3 months before you got to start looking at the 2027 one, but take a few months and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Mr. Mills.
Thank you. I would just like to mention and note, if people aren't aware, tomorrow is Wear Red Day in honor of Charlie Kirk. The president is providing him a posthumous medal tomorrow. It's his would have been his birthday. This young man loved our country. He loved standing up for our rights and freedom of speech, and was doing a tremendous job working with our young people and our college kids, teaching them that in this country we can have civil discourse and discuss things without having to be mean and call names, and was doing a tremendous job. And unfortunately, his life was cut short by an assassination bullet, doing what he lived to do on a college campus. So I know I'm going to wear red tomorrow to honor him and his work for freedom and our rights and freedom of speech in our country, and celebrate the president awarding him that great honor. So I just encourage people, if they're not aware of that, to wear red tomorrow in his honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very well said, Councilman Mills. I wore red early, a day early. I'll be wearing it tomorrow. What he believed in is something I hope more people can take a hold of and understand and emulate. I also like to echo the sentiments of Councilmember Holman. To Chief Wilson, grants are always better than tax-based expenditures. So something like that, where we get something for our city and our citizens, the police officers that serve our citizens, that's an excellent process, and I applaud you for getting through that process and Governor Kehoe for awarding that honor to us. Lastly, there was a public meeting for this I-49 widening a couple weeks ago. There, on the public website, MoDOT website, public comment is open until Thursday at 4 p.m. And anyone listening, I urge people to go out. I've looked at the materials. I was at that meeting. But if there's public comment, people, this is your time to enter a comment, whether it's in regard to the detours, the rerouting of traffic, the ideas, whatever it may be. This is something that will greatly affect our city in a positive when the project's done, but the 8 months during the project, now would be the time to make civil comments on it, understanding that politics and monies and all that are in play here. But this is something big for our community, big for this part of the county. And if people haven't taken a look yet at the documents, now is a great time to take a look at those. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for the reminder on that. I appreciate that. Mr. Circo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I kind of tail into everything that's said so far tonight. Again, condolences for Margie, her family. I know they have to sometimes suffer when you lose people, but God says there's a light at the end of every tunnel, and they need to look forward. It'll be better. And but we do have condolences for her and her family that she's passed on like this. I do want to say that I've read one thing about Charlie Kirk was he loved God more than he loved anything in the world, anything else but God, and that always guided him, and that's the way it should be with Christian people. Appreciate all he did, but it's not dead. It's going to exuberate, and it's going to grow and mushroom into a huge cloud of Christianity in this country, which we need more peace, not fighting. Thank you to the staff. We worked on this. You guys worked this budget. We did this budget. Thank you to the council, the mayor, and all of us worked with the city manager to get this budget across. And some special items. I know the parks got a few items they needed. The PD got their some items like the new drone. I think that's going to be a very big improvement to modify an item that they need to use for more public safety, more police officer safety, to help save lives in case there's people missing, children missing. So to have that technology to put in our budget to help them is very essential to the future of the PD, and I'm happy with that. But I think we did a very good job on the budget. I think the city brought it. We voted it in. We added some extras, and we got there and stayed close within Mr. Feuerborn's bottom line, so he wouldn't be stressed out too much. So we tried to hold that 9 for him. But everything, anyway, that's what I got to say. But thank you to all that's on that budget. It's good. We can move forward with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Barber.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would concur to all the comments tonight, great comments from everybody. I would just add on to the budget that officially there may be a time frame that staff and works on the budget, but I guarantee you after we do the second read, Mr. Fairborn will be working on the 2027 budget that day or that hour. So he's always thinking about the budget.
Ms. Abdelgawad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Just one more quick note on the budget, just noting that even though we passed it quickly, I think that is a reflection of, as fellow council members said, reflection of the thorough work of our city staff on planning it. Also planning multiple opportunities for the council to have conversation about it. This wasn't the first time we've seen it, definitely not the first time we've discussed it. So if anybody hasn't watched those work sessions, there was quite a bit of discussion about the budget if you're interested. And then just a pat on the back for all of our city leaders, both city staff and sitting up here tonight. I think it's an example of good teamwork. So thanks to everybody. And then one other final note, my husband and I attended the concert in the park last Friday, and it was the last one for the season. So just one more quick shout out to the Arts Commission and Ms. Harmer for their work on those. I haven't been able to attend them all, but the ones I have gone to have been a great experience. Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you. Mr. Engert.
Just real quick, I too, and as my fellow council members have done, would like to thank the staff for putting a good budget together with things I think can benefit the city. And I know that takes a lot of effort, to do something like that. So I'd again like to thank the staff for that. And then my condolences to Margie and her family. In my time here, I only got to see her a couple of times, but I was always impressed with both my visits that she always had a smile on her face, and she wasn't going to let me leave until she had that problem solved. And I really appreciated that. I thought she did a wonderful job and would be a very, very wonderful person. So that's it.
All right, thank you, sir. And for me this evening, also kudos to staff on the budget. Having most of the time that I come to City Hall to do the work of the city, there isn't usually at least one time during that period I'm here that Mr. Fearborn and I aren't talking about the budget. So I know how much work he and the staff put into it. Lisa works her backside off pretty hard on this thing too, and I know she cares very much about that document and ensuring that she gets precise numbers to Mr. Fearborn to work with. And I appreciate your work too, Lisa, on that as well. With regard to Margie, she and I kind of had a special bond. We both went through treatments together and kind of commiserated over that. I wished hers had gone as well as mine. She will be missed. And then on a brighter side, today is the 250th birthday of the United States Navy. Go Navy, beat Army. Pretty excited to celebrate that along with our country's birthday this year coming up, and proud to have served that service element. Well, you can't beat our military, all 6 services to that point, but happy birthday to my Navy sisters and brothers out there. And that's all I have this evening. Do we have reason to go into executive?
We do not, sir.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Abdel-Gawad. Is there a second?
I will second the motion, sir.
Thank you, sir. Motion's been made and seconded for adjournment. All those in